So now we are recording. So welcome everybody again. So this. And yeah, so we have a bunch of students, alumni from Pacific College. I also already introduced, since it's raining outside, my husband Randy is joining us. And I start telling you just a little bit about what to expect for today for our Qi yoga practice. So Qi yoga is a combination of qigong, yoga, Chinese medicine, meditations, Qi Tsang, and some modern dance. All my passions together kind of mixed into a wonderful basket. And this is the practice I love to do for myself. During the pandemic, when we were all on lockdown and I couldn't reach my clients, I couldn't reach my friends, I couldn't reach my students, I start offering this practice on Zoom, for whoever wanted to join. And it became a really fun part. Let me see if I can.
I'm going to mute them all, sorry.
Yeah, you know what, now that I made you on host, I can't really mute everyone. There's a lot of things I cannot do here. And
we should share the host, but I just muted everybody. I'll be on top of that for you.
And I don't know if we're recording or not, Yeah, it's not recording. We are recording? Can't really see it. I don't think we are. Yeah, okay, anyway. Sorry about that, guys. So back to our little introduction here. So what to expect today, we're going to start with some qigong and just to kind of get ourselves into our body and into the practice. Then I have some information for you about the different ingredients of this practice so we can understand a little bit more what is it that we are doing. And then after that, we'll practice some qigong with the healing sound, and then some yoga practices also with the healing sound. We'll see how the time goes. My plan for the classroom was that we also share yoga partnering and passive stretching with the sound, with the healing sound. So we'll see how we're doing with the time. If you guys have anybody that you could practice this at home, maybe we'll do it on Zoom. If not, we may try to find an extra hour next week or sometime soon where the weather permits, and we'll go to the classroom and we'll practice this on campus. So let's go ahead and we'll get started with some qigong centering, and then we'll move into some other things. So let's go ahead and we'll stand with the feet hip distance apart. Oops, I forgot the with the feet hip distance apart, just bending our knees, allowing the weight of the body to sink through the sole of our feet into the earth. When we inhale, we want to take a qigong full body breath. So what you want to do, you want to inhale to your belly. From the belly, you move the air up to the rib cage, and then you move it all the way up to the chest. You're going to hold the air in the lungs for a brief moment. And when you exhale, you relax the chest, you relax the rib cage, you relax the belly, and then bend your knees and allow the weight of your body to sink through the sole of your feet into the earth. So let's do that again. Take a deep breath into the belly, into the rib cage, all the way up to the top of the chest. Hold the air in the lungs for a brief moment. Go ahead and lift up your shoulders. And when you exhale, roll your shoulders back and down. Relax your arms to the side of your body. Bend your knees as you exhale. And visualize how you exhale all the stress, the tension, and the tightness out of your body. And now I invite you to close your eyes, taking a moment to tune into your body, fully arrive into our practice, into the present moment. So with your eyes closed, go ahead and scan your body from head to toes. And notice what are the body sensations that are now present for you. Areas of your body that feel alive and open. Areas that perhaps feeling some tightness today. Then take another deep breath and dive a little deeper into your emotional body. Notice how you feel today. Emotions that are supportive, or perhaps you're holding some unsupportive one. And then we'll take another deep breath in, dive a little deeper into your mind. Noticing your thoughts, your mood, the level of joy, peace, presence in your mind, or perhaps some busyness and stress in your mind. Whatever it is, it's just part of the present moment. It's all part of who we are. So if you're finding any extra busyness in your mind, some stress, some unsupportive emotions, feelings, or body sensations, let's take another deep breath in all the way from the belly, so the ribcage to the top of the chest. Lift up your shoulders again. And as you exhale, roll your shoulders back and down, bend your knees. And once more, visualize releasing all the stress, the tension, and the tightness out. I invite you now to close your eyes, or stay with your eyes closed, and take a moment to make a note for yourself of where you are at the beginning of the session. At the end of our practice today, we'll come back to see what shifted, what changed for each of us in our practice. So for now, we'll take another deep breath in. As we exhale, open your eyes, and then we'll go ahead and we'll shake our hands and shake our feet to release all the stress and the tension, all those unsupportive vibrations that you found in your body. We'll stay with the feet hip distance apart. So what I love about the combination of qigong and yoga, qigong means cultivating more qi. Yoga means unity. In Chinese medicine, TCM always work on balance and harmony. So when we combine all of these together, we are cultivating vital energy, we find more unity within ourselves and others, and we also find balance and harmony. So that will be the aim of our practice today. Since we are working with Chinese medicine, we are activating all the internal organs and the meridians with stretching, movement, and healing sounds. So before we start, we're going to open the feet now into a wider stand. We're going to do just a little warm up to our body with twisting motion from side to side. This is our classic qigong warm up. And remember the full body qigong breathing that we started with. So as you twist, continue to breathe from the belly to the rib cage, all the way up to the top of the chest, the top of the head. And as you exhale, exhale all the way down from your head into your feet. Visualize sending vital energy into your feet. And then continue to breathe and send vital energy to your ankles, to your knees, to your hip joints. And then continue to breathe and send vital energy to your shoulders, to your elbows, your wrists, and your hands. And then another deep breath in. Visualize sending vital energy to your spine, becoming more aware of your vertebrae as we twist and breathe into the spine. We're allowing the spinal fluid to start flowing more freely. The spinal cord then becomes more aligned. And then the nervous system becomes more peaceful and calm. So let's continue by taking a deep breath in upward to the neck, relax your neck. And then let's continue to breathe up to the head, sending vital energy to our brain and to our mind. And then another deep breath in and send vital energy to your face to energize all the senses in our face. So we can hear better, we can see better, we can smell better and taste better and touch better. And then let's take another deep breath in again from the feet all the way upward to the top of the head and the face. And as we exhale, let's go ahead and slow down the movement. Let's come back to center. And once more, let's check our head and check our feet to release any residues of stress and tension in the body. So I'm going to talk to you more about the organs and the meridians and how we can balance them with Qi Yoga, with the soul gate healing. Before we do that, let's just do a quick review of our meridians and also feel the impact of tapping, which is a very important part of our practice. I'll talk to you more about tapping a little bit later on. But just in general, it brings more awareness to the nervous system, especially the nerves ending at the surface of the body. And the sequence of tapping that we're going to do today goes with all the meridians. So it also increases the flow of qi in our body. So we're going to start by placing our hands on the left side of the chest to connect with our hearts. Let's do another full body qigong breathing from the belly to the ribs, all the way up to the top of the chest and into your heart. And I invite you to place your hand on the area where you can actually feel your own heartbeat. And just notice how your heart feels today. The beat, the rhythm, the strength, the quality of your heart at this very moment. When we tap on the heart, we are actually helping the heart to circulate qi, blood, vital energy for all the internal organs and meridians. So let's go ahead and we'll start with tapping motion on the heart, which is the left side of the chest. As we do that, we are also activating the pericardium, which protects the heart and providing us with protective shield. And then let's move our tapping motion to the rest of the chest, tapping vital energy into the lungs, energizing our lungs. Now we'll continue by sending vital energy to all the meridians. So let's stretch the arm up, and now we're going to tap from the chest to the hand in the front of the arm, the yin part of the arm, as you will know. And we are now sending vital energy through the lungs meridian, the pericardium meridian, and the heart meridian. All the way out from chest to head. And then with the palm facing down, let's now tap backward from the hand up to the shoulder and the head. We are now sending vital energy to the large intestine, the small intestine, the spongia, the thyroid, associated with the thyroid. As we arrive at the shoulder, let's relax the shoulder and the arm. Tilt your head to the opposite direction, and we're going to tap on the shoulder blade, the side of the neck, releasing all the stress and the tension. And then from there, let's go back, tapping in the chest. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to stretch the arm up, moving from chest to hand, sending vital energy to the lungs meridian, the pericardium, and the heart meridian. And then with the palm facing down, let's now bring the energy back, sending vital energy to the large intestine, the small intestine, the spongia, the thyroid meridians. As we arrive at the shoulder, once more, let's relax the shoulder and the arm, tilt your head to the opposite direction. Let's start on the shoulder blade, releasing all the stress and the tension out. And then let's come back to the chest. And now from the chest, we're going to move to the rib cage, sending vital energy to the digestive organs of the rib cage. Let's move the tapping motion to the left side. So we're now very specifically energizing the spleen, the stomach, and the pancreas. Now what we're going to do, we're going to place the left hand on top of the head, and we're going to tap upward from the waistline toward the armpit. This is to activate the lymph nodes under the armpit to purify any toxins from the lymphatic system and the digestive organs. And therefore, let's relax the left hand. Let's move our tapping motion to the right side. We are now sending vital energy to the liver and the gallbladder. And then we're going to place the right hand on top of the head, and we're going to tap upward from the waistline to the armpit. Again, stimulating the lymph nodes and purifying toxicity from the liver, the gallbladder, and the lymphatic system. And then let's relax the right arm. From the rib cage, we're now moving to the lower abdomen to energize the elimination system. The intestine, the kidney, the bladder, adrenal glands, the digestive system are situated in the lower abdomen. Now from the lower abdomen, let's move clockwise from right to left, connecting together our digestion and elimination. Very important to go clockwise so we stimulate the intestine and don't interfere with the intestinal flow. And this is to connect digestion and elimination for better nourishment and purity in our body. Now we're going to move down to the legs to energize the meridians of the legs. So let's bend over. We're going to tap on the front of the legs. This is to send vital energy. So the stomach meridian all the way down to the feet, Go ahead and hang over your feet, stretch your spine, stretch the back of your legs. As we tap on the feet, we become more centered and grounded as our own chi is now merging with the earth. Now come up just halfway. See if you can keep your knees straight, if not straight. If you need, you can sit on the chair if it's uncomfortable to your bed. And then we're going to tap on the inner legs. This is to energize the spleen, liver, and kidney meridians, which are moving upward. And then let's bend over a little further, make this behind your bed. And I'll go ahead and tap on your kidneys, sending vital energy to the kidneys, balancing our adrenal glands, moving to the sacrum area, the lower back, the glute muscles. And now from the glute, let's tap along the side of the legs. This is to energize the gallbladder meridian. And then along the back of the legs, let's energize our bladder meridian. Now go ahead and bend your knees. We are slowly unfolding the spine upward, one vertebra at a time, as we keep tapping on the inner legs. And from the inner legs to the hip, from the hip to the rib cage, from the rib cage all the way right up to the chest. So now you can walk with your fingertips to the chest. Again, we're energizing the spleen, liver, and kidneys from the inner legs all the way up to the chest. They're flowing upward in our body, and therefore they're providing us with uplifting vibrations. So let's connect with those uplifting vibrations of the organs and meridians, and we move upward. We're going to move now to the front of the neck. This is to energize our thyroid, also opening the throat chakra for better communication, expression, creativity. This is also balances the vagus nerve, which improve digestion and elimination. And then let's bend the head down. We're now tapping at the back of the neck, releasing all the stress, the tension, and the tightness from the back of the neck. And then move up to the head. So start tapping at the back of your head and walk your way through the side, all the way to the very top. And just a quick reminder to relax the shoulders. Just lift up your arms without lifting your shoulders so they don't get tight again. At the top of the head, we are now opening the crown chakra. Do 20. I think you're all familiar with that wonderful point. It helps us to expand our consciousness so we may receive more spiritual guidance. And then moving from the crown chakra to the face to energize all the senses. So let's go ahead and tap gently around the eyes, strengthening our vision, deepening our insight. Let's tap at the center of the forehead to open the third eye, the center of intuition. And then we're going to move through the bridge of the nose down to the side of the nose, opening our sinuses, energizing our lungs and respiratory systems for the sinuses. And then moving from the nose to the mouth, tapping around the mouth, which is the beginning of the digestive system. So we are now strengthening our digestion. And then moving to the side, tapping around our ears, strengthening our ears so we may hear better and listen better. And then let's tap at the jaw area, releasing all the stress, the tension, and the tightness on the jaw. And now from the jaw, just moving down back from the front of the neck to the chest. We're going to end where we started. So we're going to tap all the way around the chest, taking another deep breath in from the belly, so the rib cage, all the way up to the top of the chest. And now hold the air in your lungs and tap. Hold it up and hold it up and hold it up. See how long you can hold the air in your lungs and keep tapping and keep tapping, taking a lot of expansion and oxygen and vital energy for the day. And when we can't hold it anymore, then exhale it out. And once more, shake your hands, shake your feet. Visualize releasing any residue of stress, tension, or tightness out. And then I invite you again to just sit still and close your eyes. And just notice the impact of the tapping in your body. Notice if anything starts shifting, maybe some new sensations came out. Maybe certain things got more loose, maybe you're more aware of some extra tightness. And we'll go ahead and we'll open our eyes. If you're still feeling any residue of stress and tension, shake your hands, shake your feet, and then I invite you to come back to the screen after we experience some of the movement and some of the ingredients of the practice. I want to tell you more about each and every one of them. So one thing I would like to mention is that everything that we do here in our practice is an invitation, and you're always welcome to modify, you're welcome to do other things that work for your body. Always listen to your body and never do anything that may feel uncomfortable, or if it's causing any pain or extra stress on your muscles or on your spine, whatever it is, these are all just an invitations. So what I want to do is just share with you a little bit more about qigong yoga, qi yoga, and the main ingredients that create this practice, and then the benefits that we can gain from it. And then after that, we'll go ahead and we'll practice some more. We'll do some standing stretches for the meridians, some floor stretches with some yoga, and then we'll connect with the healing sound. So I'm going to start doing a share screen, and let's see if that will work well for us. All right. You can see the
Yeah. Also, do you want to, on the very top where it says from current slide, do you want to hit that so we can see it on the whole screen?
So on the top.
To the left, it says from current slide.
Yeah, that's what I start from the beginning of.
Oh, there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to close this part. Okay. Yeah, I think you'll see it better this way. Let me see. All right. So we are doing soul gate healing, qigong yoga, meditation, and we are including meridian stretch with the 6 healing sound. And the practice designed to help us transform stressful emotions into creative motions. So stretch your chi, that's the main aim of this practice. We are learning how to transform stressful negativity into more creativity and creating balance. Balancing emotional stress is a key component in developing vital body and peaceful mind. So in our practice, we are offering a unique blend of wisdom from the art of yoga. As I mentioned earlier, yoga helps us to find unity. That's actually the translation of the name yoga. Chinese medicine, where we use our meridian stretching and more balancing and harmonizing our internal organs. Qigong, which means cultivating qi, increasing the vital energy in our body. And we are using the healing sound from Taoist healing, along some tools from the Qi Tsang, which is internal organ massage that I love and very passionate about. So blending all of these practices together really give us a wonderful methods to help ourselves. And then when we are stronger, of course, we can share our own Qi, our whole healing with others. And then there are Qigong partnering, yoga partnering can also help us to do some passive stretching, passive joint movement that perhaps you would like to add later on to your practices when incorporated into your massage. So that's the basic of our practice. So let's see, the Qigong yoga, the Qi yoga include, the first one is gentle yet deep meridian stretching. And this is also some movement and motions. It helps to open energetic blocks within the internal organs and the channels. And the benefit, the stretches usually involve movement and spine twist. When we twist our spine, we are opening more space between the vertebrae. You guys may have felt it already when we did our swinging from side to side. It allows free flow to the spinal fluid, better alignment to our spinal cord, which harmonizes the entire nervous system. So, even just standing and doing those twists that we just did from side to side it's amazing the effect and the calmness that start taking place in your nervous system. The second main ingredient are the healing sounds. Toning a specific healing sound that activate the body's system. And I'll explain to you a little bit later on exactly how those toning activate your systems. So the benefits are each of these stretch movements that we're doing accompanies by toning a very specific healing sound, as well as creating mental intentions for emotional transformation. The act of toning requires deep breaths with long exhalation. So when we tone, if you do the Om sound, oh, it's very common in yoga practices. We are using other sound in our Chi yoga, but every time you tone, you have to take those deep breathing and exhale slowly. And when you exhale slowly, it starts slowing down your systems, especially your nervous system, and start getting more calmness and peace in your body. So we're going to practice this in a little while. Let's talk a little bit more about the 6 healing sounds. The sound are very, very powerful. So the sound we absorb and the sound we voice have significant impact on our daily experience. Sound are among the most powerful vibrations in our universe. And I know if you guys had any recollections of either sleepless night when neighbors are partying several blocks away, and you can actually hear them, especially in the summertime, you can hear it coming from some distance. Or maybe a joyful sound of children playing in a distant playground. Sometimes we hear the wind, blowing trees, out there in the yard or in the park. It's amazing how sound waves have the power to penetrate through cement walls and glass windows. They can penetrate through a very, very thick and dense material. So of course, they can penetrate also through the nice soft tissue of our physical body. And they have a very significant impact on our brain, as well as they vibrate through the nervous system and the soft tissue of the human body. So I know, like, sometimes I hear sound that are very irritating, like if neighbors are doing some handy work and they are banging across the street, and I need to do a session, and the sound can actually irritate us. Or sometimes I can listen to a wonderful music. The other neighbors tend to play some nice music in their yard, and it actually makes me very joyful. So it's really amazing how music and sound have very strong impact on our nervous system and on how we feel. So let's talk a little bit more about that, about the therapeutic application of the sound. And these are very specific 6 healing sounds. They are primary pre-language vocal expressions. So the 6 healing sounds are coming from the healing Taoist, especially from the Qigong sound practices. And we are using very, very specific vowels for each of the organs. And what we found out that regardless of culture, race, geographical location, babies all over the world express this particular sound. And they are prior to communication through words. So all of us, before we learn how to speak, when we're babies, we make those sounds. And if you remember babies, they do like zoo and woo and ha, and they laugh and and they make all these really very, very funny noises. And it's something very, very common to all the human beings all over the planet, regardless of where we are. So according to the Taoist teaching of Qigong, the 6 healing sounds are associated with the 5 elements and also the navel gate, which is our original gate for life. This is how we got nourishment and purity at the very beginning of our lives. Each of those vocal tones vibrate through the body in unique frequencies. And that unique frequency activates a very specific element and its related organ. So we have 5 sounds for each of the elements, and then the 6th sound has to do with the navel gate, which harmonizes all the elements together, all the internal organs together, and harmonize the whole body. We use that for healing. Now let's talk more about the effect of the sound on the organs. And we know that in Chinese medicine, we view the internal organs as containers of qi. They're basically holding on and contain our life force, as well as keep creating more and more vital energy, more life force within us. Our life force energy includes our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects. They are contained and managed by the internal organs. So the six healing sound help to harmonize the qi vibrations among all the aspects of our being. So what that means, when we are using a specific vowels, a specific sound, those frequencies of waves access a particular organ, and then they are able to open up energetic blocks and stagnation as they also restore more flow and vitality. So each sound associated with a very specific organs, and when we tone the sound, we're now opening the organs, and later on when we practice Qi Yoga, we also help to open the meridians. And then through the meridians, the level of openness and vital energy can start moving also to the rest of the tissues. You know, they move to the muscles, the skin, the joints, and they bring more health to our body. So toning is a very powerful practice. As infant, we make this sound intuitively and instinctively because we know it will support and strengthen the development of our life-giving systems. When we're young, when we're babies, the body just begins to work, you know, the internal organs for the first time, learning how to digest, how to breathe, how to eliminate. So when we use the sound, we are helping them to get stronger and more effective and flow more effectively. So as we grow, we replace the sound with words, and then we usually stop using them. Why? Why do we stop using them? If they're so effective for us when we are tiny babies, we can keep using them when we are adult and keep strengthening our body, keep creating more vital energy in our internal organs. So the practice of toning the healing sound is a very powerful method that preserve our connection to our primary instincts as infant. It's assisting in nurturing and rejuvenating the internal organs throughout our life. Toning, as we said earlier, requires very deep breath with long exhalation to actually vocalize the sound. That brings more calmness to the entire nervous system, allowing us to open up blocked qi, allowing us to balance the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual vibrations, and transform unsupportive feelings, thoughts, and enhance our health and well-being. So it's a really powerful practice. I really inviting you to explore it and practice that as much as you can. So another important thing about toning, it activates our vocal cords, which situated in the throat. So it actually opens up our throat and open up the throat chakra. Now, the energetic throat of center of the throat chakra associated with the power of communication, expression, creativity, and speaking our truth. So just practicing sound helps to open the throat and help us to strengthen all of these ingredients, all of these aspects of ourselves. We can be more creative, we can express ourselves more efficiently with more kindness, we can have better communication skills, and we become closer to our own truth, our own authenticity. The throat is also the bridge between the head and the chest, you know, the mind and the body. So when we vocalize the healing sound, we connect our brain with our heart, creating harmonious flow between the body, the emotions, and the mind. So it's a wonderful way to harmonize our whole being. So when we practice yoga, we create those intentional sound. We call them the 6 healing sound. We'll look at each and every one of them more specifically in a little bit. But just by doing the intentional sound, we help also to balance the brain, and they are very beneficial for emotional healing. So scientists found that in general, sound and music have a very therapeutic effect on the brain, as they register in different parts of the brain. You know, that's why we all love music. I don't know anybody who doesn't like to listen to music, right? I have a person here that very strong on music. So what science is telling us, the beat, the rhythm, the pitch, the volume, these are all the different ingredients of music. Each of them actually activates a specific area of the brain. So when we hear them, we kind of register them in different parts of the brain. And because of that, it harmonizes them together. It harmonizes all the different parts of our brains together. When we tone, we create sound and we absorb sound simultaneously. So you get like the double effect, the double impact, because you create the sound and you also absorb the sound. You have like two ways of taking in the sound. And in the practice of toning, balance the brain and especially affect the amygdala. It's the part of the brain that processes emotions and feelings. That's why the toning and the sound have such wonderful calming and balancing effect on our emotions. So Chi Yoga and the healing sound also balance the vagus nerve. I kind of got a little picture here of the vagus nerve. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the vagus nerve. It's a separate part of the nervous system. We call it the enteric nervous system, and it connects the brain with the internal organs. The vagus nerve controls many body functions, such as heart rate, breathing, digestion, speaking, blood flow, and swallowing. It is also plays a vital role in controlling emotions. It's a very important part of the vagus nerve, moves again through the neck and the throat, which, as I said earlier, is the bridge between the brain and the mind and the rest of the body and the internal organs. So an important part of the vagus nerve is situated at the neck throat, the bridge between the brain and the body. The healing sound, along with the Chi Yoga neck and spine stretching, stimulate and balance the vagus nerve. So tapping is also a very good tool to balance and stimulate the vagus nerve. And then when the vagus nerve is become more balanced and more energized, it then affects the work of all the internal organs. It has an immediate effect on our internal organ. So in general, tapping stimulates nerves ending at the surface of the skin. It increases circulation as well as balancing the entire nervous system, especially the vagus nerve, because it's such a sensitive nerve. And then it brings more harmony to the body and to the mind. So just in summary, the benefit of balancing the vagus nerve include stress relief and profound relaxation. Excuse me. It's also heart rate regulations. It reduces inflammations in the body and it improves digestion and elimination. It boosts immunity by stimulating cell productions within the immune system. It better overall mental health and clarity, improved and balanced moods, better physical performance, and boost cognitive functions and memory. A lot of amazing gifts coming from balancing the vagus nerve. So back to our yoga practice, we promote overall health by stimulating and balancing the vagus nerve along with the healing sound, tapping, stretching, meditation, and also applications of pressure points. We're getting here almost to the very end. The therapeutic applications of the healing sound, practicing the healing sound, help us to overcome various health symptoms. It supports emotional well-being by purifying unsupportive beliefs and tense emotions. It is especially beneficial when we are incorporating the sound with more kinesthetic practices, such as body movement, qigong, stretching, acupressure points, hands-on manipulations, and massage. So I'm kind of moving into another part of the presentation, which has to do with more specific sound. Before we go there, I just kind of want to summarize. You got a nice chart where you can see all the sound, and that is the soul gate healing, the art of transformation with the 6 healing sound, and then we can start exploring each and every one of them. So before we do that, I'm gonna stop the sharing so we can come back. And I know it was kind of a little bit of a longer presentation, so just want to see if there are any questions so far. You're welcome to unmute and let me know if you have any questions, or write them in the chat if there's anything to, any comments or any questions on what we cover. We're pretty good. I don't see any questions. You guys are doing pretty good. I'm gonna bring us to the gallery view for a moment so I can see you. Yeah, okay. So another question, do we want to take a quick break before we move to each and every sound? Seems like we've been sitting for a while. So how about we'll take a 5 minutes quick break. We'll stop the recording, just move around. I know after sitting and looking at the presentation, you get a little stiff. Let's take our 5 minutes, move around, and then I'll show you a little more about the sound. Sounds good? So
Yes, thank you.
I'm trying to stop the recording. Can you stop the
I'll do it. I'll do it right now.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and air our brain. Thank you, Marilena. So let's continue. I'm looking, I don't see any questions in the chat. If anybody has any questions or any comment, you're welcome to unmute and let us know if you want to add anything or anything. And if not, let's move on. I want to show you a little bit more about each of the sound. So let me go back to our. Here are the 6 healing sound. You have a little chart here that you can see them all. And they're helping us, as I said earlier, to open up the internal organs and their meridians. So let's look at each and every sound, how they work. Oh, what's happening? Okay. So we're going to go with the 5 elements. So we're going to start with the sound for the wood element. And this is the sound. So what you could do is just to try the sound. I don't know if you guys can see me in the little screen on the side. Place your wrists together. Just 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing just for a moment. Place your wrists together and then place your hand under your chin with your hand cupping your cheekbones. And then to practice the zh sound, you kind of close your teeth a little bit and you do. And I don't know if you guys can feel it actually vibrating in your jaw. I call it the jaw sound. So that is the zh sound. And the zh sound affects the liver and the gallbladder. It kind of vibrates in the jaw. It's associated also with the green color vibrations, the color of the wood element. And it helps us to transform resentful attitude into forgiving gratitude. So it really helps us to move from anger, from resentment, from frustration, into more forgiveness, compassion, kindness, and deeper understanding. So that's a wonderful transformation that the zh sound providing us with. And then we have the next sound is for the fire element, and that is the ha sound. So what I invite you to do is like we did earlier in our practice, place your hands on the left side of your chest where you can feel your heart like we did earlier. And then let's practice the sound ha, and you can feel it actually vibrating right there in your heart. So let's take a deep breath and we'll tone the ha sound. Ha. You can actually feel it vibrating right here, and of course also in the throat. So it opens up the fire elements and its associated organs and meridians associated with the red color. And then the fire yin associated with the heart, the pericardium, and also the thyroid. Although the sanjiao is a yang meridian, because it's up here on top, the top part of the body, it's associated also with the thyroid. It helps us mostly to transform blocked emotions into creative motions through the heart. And then when we tone ha, it brings us more excitement, more joy, more love, more gratitude, more hope. It really helps to open the heart. The fire yang, also red color, a little deeper red color, vibrates in the lower abdomen and affects the small intestine, which is right there. We call it the abdominal brain, and it has a very strong connection with the heart, with the jaw, with the vagus nerve. And again, when we tone, as we said earlier, the throat opens the vagus nerve and help to connect the cranial brain with the abdominal brain. It helps to open up the small intestine and helping us to connect with the sense of intuition, which is within the small intestine. You know, the small intestine always makes decisions about how to absorb nourishment into our body and how to release toxins from our body. So it actually knows what's good for us and what's bad for us. Our intuition associated with gut feeling. So when we tone the ha sound, we are also letting go of inhibition and learn how to trust our intuition. It helps to transform doubts into intuition and inner guidance. So again, the ha sound has a very, very powerful impact on our body. And then let's move to the earth element. It's a strange sound. It's the sound vu, or if you do it more quietly, it will be like F sound. So all of these sound, we have yin and yang expression. When we do more vocal, it's vu, and if we do it more quietly, more yin style, it's you can whisper them if you're in a space where you need to keep them quiet. The same with the ha, you could do ha, or you could do ha, or the one we learned earlier, the j can also be. So you could do them quietly, you can do them very loudly. I found out that when we express the sound with more vocal, they help to create more vibrations and their impact is even more significant. So for the vu sound, it affects the stomach and the spleen. It's associated with the earth element and the yellow color. And you can see the yellow color within the stomach and then the pancreas, which is at the back side of the stomach. You can see how yellow they are. And then we understand why in Chinese medicine, we are associating different colors with different elements and different organs. The body actually holds those color vibrations within the body. It vibrates also in the lips and activate the mouth because the mouth and the lips are the beginning of the digestive system. So when we do we actually activate the lips, moving the vibrations inward into the spleen, the stomach, and the pancreas. So the vu sound helps to transform survival tension into abundance and expansion. It vibrates in the lips and also helps to transform worries into more fulfillment, containment, calmness, a sense of inner peace, balance, harmony, abundance, prosperity, and clarity of our spiritual path. A lot going on with this wonderful sound. So I invite you to put your lips together and just say the letter V in your lips and see how, actually feel the tingling vibrations in your lips. So let's take a deep breath and we'll tone V sound. I hope you guys can feel it, how it vibrates in your lips. And then let's move to the middle element associated with the lungs and the large intestine. And the sound is Z, like you say the letter V. If you do it quietly, it will be the S. That's the main sound for the lungs. And it vibrates in the nose, in the nostrils. It affects the lungs and the large intestine. The sound Z, the sound Z associated with the middle element and white or gray color. It vibrates in the nose and activates the lungs and the large intestine. So, you know, the respiratory system, the lungs begins in the nose, in the sinuses. The large intestine meridians ends at the ends of the nostril, although it crosses and goes the opposite direction. But the ending point is large intestine 20 at the side of your nostrils. So when you activate your nose with Z, you create more vibrations into these organs and then send also more vital energies for the meridians. The Z sound helps to transform stress and negativity into vital force of creativity, especially because it helps us to move more breathing through the lungs and the respiratory system. And toning Z help also to transform grief and sadness and help us in letting go and find more courage to flow with life changes and face the unknown. These are the body-mind connection to the lungs. So let's try the Z, the nose sound. So I invite you to place your fingers gently at the side of your nose. Close the front of your teeth together. And then let's make the sound Z together. Let's inhale. Z. That's the sound for the lungs. Sometimes we also use the sound Hey to open more breath and to bring more health to the lungs. So that's another sound that sometimes in Qi Yoga, it's not part of the Qigong sound and the Taoist healing sound, but it's a sound that sometimes we incorporate in our Qi Yoga. And then we're going to move to the water element, the sound Hu. And again, the Hu sound affects the kidneys, the bladder, and the water element, also associated with the reproductive system, the lower abdomen, the spine, the adrenal glands, a lot of internal organs associated with the Hu sound. So because it's associated with water, the Hu sound is a cooling sound. If you whisper it and you do, you know, like if you want to blow off the flame of the candle, we blow on it and we do, and it will blow off the candle. So that aspect creates cooling like the water, and that's therefore it's associated with the water element. And because the connection to the adrenal glands, the Hu sound help us to transform fears into freedom. And when we find more freedom and we transform our fear, we can find more inner peace, more confidence, more trust for ourselves and for others. This is going through all the healing sound. So let's practice the Hu sound. So first, let's practice it as a whisper, as if you're blowing off the candle. So just imagine, hold your finger and imagine that you have a candle burning, and we are going to blow off the flame, or maybe your birthday candle cake. So let's take a deep breath and we'll do And now let's do the who with a little more vibration. So we're actually going to tone strong, loud who sound. Let's take a deep breath again. It usually go a little deeper into the lower part of the body. And then we're going to move to the sixth sound that connect all the elements together, connects all the body systems together. It's associated with the navel gate. So the navel gate associated also with the rainbow of all the 5 elements colors. It vibrates in the waist and activate the navel, which is the original gate of nourishment and purity in our body, original gate to life. When we tone the he sound, that's the sound for the navel gate, we bring more healing. So I invite you to place your hands on your navel gate, on your navel. And then we're going to tone together the sound he. So let's take a deep breath in together. And then keep one hand on your navel gate and move one hand to your lungs. So we are connecting together the chest and the abdomen, the lungs and the navel gate. We're going to tone the sound hey. It usually used as an additional sound for the breath, for the lungs, and for overall health. So just think health, as you say hey. It vibrates in the chest, promoting health through strengthening the breath, and through the breathing and the oxygen that moves through each part of our body, it brings more health to all the body systems. So let's practice the hey sound. Let's take a deep breath in. Hey. So just take a moment, notice the impact of the sound in your body. And just in summary, the Soul Gate Healing Chi Yoga incorporate this wonderful healing sound that we just explore with the ancient Taoist practices of qigong, yoga, meridian stretching, Chinese medicine, and meditation. The Chi Yoga meridian stretch it's a practice that deepens our connection to our core, to the breath, to oneself and to others. It's strengthening the physical body. It calms our emotions. It harmonizes the vagus nerve, as well as our yin and yang energy flow, and it brings rejuvenation and relaxation. So just to make a quick announcement that we do have Chi yoga classes Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 10 and Saturday at noon. And this is the link to my website. You can find it's the same Zoom link that you have now for this class, and you can use it also if you would like to join for these classes. If you'd like me to add you to the email list that goes out for the group, you're welcome to place your email in the chat, and then I'll include you in the email groups, and I'll send you the link and the topic for each class before the practice. So it's Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 10, and Saturday at noon. So the way to get started with anything, especially with everything, especially with Chi Yoga, with more healing, with more health, is to quit talking and start doing. This is the quote from Walt Disney. So let's quit talking and start doing. How's that sound? And we'll complete with the Soul Gate healing, and let's go ahead and we'll start practicing more of our Chi Yoga. So we're going to start doing some more exercises. So before we do, again, any comments, any questions, anything that you guys would like to add to what we just did? Ready to move? All right, so let's go ahead and we'll start with our practice. So we are going to start standing up. I invite you to have a yoga mat for the second part of the practice. Just see here. I need to lower my camera a little bit. You can see it's better. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get just the right angle so you can see me and you can see the floor and you can see everything. And as I mentioned earlier, these practices are an invitation. So you're welcome to do what I'm doing. You're welcome to modify, to do something that is more comfortable for your body today. If you have any issues with your spine, with your knees, with anything, you're welcome to also sit on a chair. So some of these stretches can be very easily done on a chair. So let's start again, just for, we've been sitting for a while, just kind of bring a little more mobility to our body. Let's go ahead and start our twisting again from side to side, just to ease up any stress and tension in our body. And again, as you twist, take a deep breath from the belly, so the rib cage, all the way up to the top of the chest. And notice the level of stiffness or the level of openness in your body. Notice what's going on in your emotions right now. Notice what's going on in your mind right now after some of the practices that we did. And then I'm going to go ahead and slow down the movement. Come back to center. If you're finding any tightness or tension in your body from sitting down, go ahead and shake your hand and shake your feet. So first I want to introduce you the sound with the meridian stretching. The healing sound for the navel gate is the sound he. It promotes healing. So we're going to start with the he sound. We're going to place our hands on the navel gate. We're going to bend our knees so you can feel the grounding effect when your weight is sinking through the feet into the earth. We're going to take a deep breath and just visualize healing vibrations moving into your body as you tone the sound he. So let's take a deep breath in. We always like to start and come back to the he sound. Then for the heart, we're going to tone the sound ha. So let's go ahead again. Place our hands on our heart and tone the ha sound. It helps us to release any stress, any pain from the heart, anxiety, impatience, depression, anything that is unsupported to your heart. It helps to transform it into more love, joy, gratitude, and hope. So let's start the sound by bringing the energy into the heart. Let's take a deep breath in and we'll tone the ha sound. Now to stretch the meridians of the heart, what we're going to do, we're going to open our arms, open our heart. I invite you to keep your abdomen very strong and just stretch your upper chest, the space between your your shoulder blades upward. So you really feel the openness in your heart, gaze upward. And we're going to tone the ha sound and open our hearts. Then visualize gathering red, beautiful red light, love, joy, gratitude. We're going to bring the hands to the heart with the ha sound. Bringing more loving and healing vibrations to the heart. And then let's move to the sound for the lungs, since we are right here at the chest. The sound for the lungs is the sound z. It opens the lungs. So what I invite you to do, actually first let's place our hands across the chest so we can actually feel the z sound. Earlier we touch the side of the nose, but now we're going to move the sound right here into the chest. So let's take a deep breath and we'll tone the sound Z. 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 And bring your hands together behind your back. Connect your fingertips together, push your shoulders down, and then pull your arms as far back as you can from your hip. Again, keep your abdomen and lower back straight and strong, and just lift up your chest up as you try to pull your arm. You can feel the stretch right here in the front of the shoulder and the lungs meridian. And then let's turn the Z sound again to open the lungs. Then push your shoulders down, release the holding of your arms, bring your arms up. And now we're going to turn another Z sound, visualize beautiful white light, bringing courage and strength to your lungs. We are going to lower the arms down to the lungs. Guys, just enjoy the impact of the Z sound on your lungs. And now we're going to move to the kidneys and the bladder and the reproductive system. These are the kidneys situated at your waistline, so you can place your hands on your waist. The kidney meridians move through the inner leg. The bladder meridians move through the spine and the back of the legs. So we're going to explore those two. And the sound is who. So let's just place the hands on the waistline and turn the sound who into our kidneys. It helps us to transform fears into trust and peace. So let's take a deep breath in. Now from your waistline, place your hands at the back of your hamstrings, at the place where the hamstrings connect with your glute muscle. We're going to bend all the way over, brushing along the back of the leg, brushing along the bladder meridian. If this is uncomfortable, you're welcome to sit on the chair and just bend your forehead towards your knees. And this is a nice stretch for the bladder meridian with the who sound. Ooh. Now go ahead and place your hands on the floor. Bend your knees all the way down. This is another good extra stretch for the spine and the bladder meridian. Lift up your heels. Bring your forehead towards your knees. Again, if this is uncomfortable for any reason, you're welcome to do it on a chair. And we are going to turn again the who sound, mostly from the spine. Let's take a deep breath in. Oh. Then go ahead and place your hips back down. Lift up your heels. Now, if you can, hold on behind your knees, your calves, your hamstrings, whatever is comfortable for you. So you can even extra stretch to ease up all the stress and the tension from the spine. And we're going to do another who sound for the spine and the back of the legs. Whoa. Then we're going to bend the knees. Now go ahead and brush along the inner leg. So we are now activating the kidney meridian. We're going to turn another who sound as we rise up one vertebra at a time and bring the hands to the navel gate. Oh. When we bring the hands right here to the navel gate, it is the opposite side of the kidneys. So it also helps us to energize the kidneys. So now we're going to relax the hands from the navel gate. We're going to bring our arms up, gathering healing vibrations in our hands. Another who sound, we're going to pour beautiful blue light along with peace and trust back to the waistline and the kidneys. arms. Now we're going to introduce the sound. We're going to start with the liver and the gallbladder. So they are situated under your right rib cage. That's where they are actually physically in our body. And then the meridians of the gallbladder move from the side of the body. The sound zh activate the jaw, help us to release any anger and frustration, transform it into forgiveness and compassion. And it vibrates in the right rib cage along the side of the body. So any side stretches will activate the gallbladder and transform with the J sound. So let's start toning the J sound directly into the right rib cage, the liver, and the gallbladder. Let's take a deep breath in. And then go ahead and lift your arms up. Hold on to your right wrist, right hand with your left. Stretch your arm upward and then go ahead and stretch to the side, pulling on your arms. This is a good stretch for the gallbladder meridian. And we're going to tone the sound again. Let's come back to center. We're going to stretch to the other side, although it is left side, it's still stretching the side of the body. Let's do another J sound. And then come back to center, relax the holding of your arm, visualize gathering beautiful green light, healing energy from the universe, along with more compassion, forgiveness, and kindness. Let's do another J sound and bring it to the liver and the gallbladder. And then we'll relax the arms, shake the hands, shake the feet. The next one that we are going to do is the sound V for the stomach and the spleen. They are situated under the left rib cage, and the stomach meridian runs along the front of the leg. The spleen meridian runs along the inner legs. So we're going to do some stretches for the inner legs. So what we're going to do, first we're just going to practice the sound. Place the hands on the left side of your rib cage. So we'll take a deep breath. It activates the lips as we say the sound. Helps us to release worries and brings more calmness, more joy. It helps us also to find more balance, harmony, and a sense of grounding. So let's go ahead and tone the sound. Take a deep breath in. And then we're going to open the feet into a wider stand with the feet a little bit outward. Bend your knees so you can feel a little stretchy right here in the inner legs. We're going to place the hands, you want to place it right here on the inner leg. And then by applying a little pressure, you can feel a nice stretch for your inner leg. We're going to dip the shoulder and the elbow inward as we stretch the back of the rib cage, the digestive organs, and we tone the V sound. Let's take a deep breath in. Back to center, and then let's do it to the other side. So you're going to stretching the shoulders. This way, you can see stretching the shoulder and the elbow in as you apply pressure on the inner legs. Again, the V sound. And we'll come back to center. Stretch your knees. Let's place the palm facing out. Once more, let's bring the arms up. And with another V sound, visualize collecting beautiful golden yellow light along with balance, harmony, a sense of clarity and peace And we're going to bring it to the left rib cage with the V sound. So hands, shake your hands and shake your feet. So we went through all the 5 elements, healing sound and the he sound for the navel gate. So now we're going to do a sequence where we connect them all together. So we connect flow from one meridian to the next. We'll stretch to one side and then to the other. So we will repeat the sequence twice. And as I mentioned earlier, you're always welcome to modify or do whatever it is that's comfortable for your body. These are all just invitations. We're going to start by connecting our hands behind the back. This is the sound for the lungs, stretch for the lungs. So we push the shoulders down, the arms away from the hip. The feet are, you can keep them hips distance or maybe slightly wider than your hip distance. And then we are going to lift the chest up. We're going to tone the sound Z for the lungs. Let's take a deep breath in. And then we'll continue with the ha sound. So push the shoulders down, relax your palms, bring the arms up. We're going to open the heart and the arm with the ha sound for more love, joy, and gratitude. Ha. Now visualize collecting healing energy in our hands by connecting our hands together above the head with the he sound for healing. We are now going to pull on the right arm with the left. This is the stretch for the gallbladder. We're going to pull it to the side. This is the V sound to open the gallbladder meridian. As we inhale, we're coming up. Now release the holding of your hands. Place the left hand on the side of your left leg. The right hand is now facing down. As we are stretching to the side, brush along the side of the leg, brush along the gallbladder meridian. See how far you can touch with your hand below your knee. And we're going to tone another J sound. As we inhale, we're now coming up. And now face the leg that you're touching. Change your hand to the front of the leg. So we're now brushing along the stomach meridian. We're shifting to the sound, the V sound. And we're going to bring the hand to the opposite foot as we bend over forehead or the knee with the V sound. So now you bring your hand either to the knee, the calf, the ankle, the foot, wherever it's comfortable for you. It could be on your upper leg, land, wherever it's comfortable for you. The leg that you're touching, you keep straight. The other knee, you're now bending. Bring the spine halfway up, and we're now twisting to the side, opening the heart again with the ha sound. Now an invitation to bend the elbow, bring the hand to the waistline. If you want, maybe the hand on your sacrum area, perhaps you can bring it all the way and weave it to your opposite thigh. So you get a stronger stretch and also a nice stretch to the front of your shoulder. Z sound to open the lungs. And now stretch both of your knees, come back to center. Brush along the back of the legs, forward toward the knees. This is to stretch the bladder meridian, the spine, and the back of the legs. This is the who sound. Then let's bend the knees, gathering healing energy from the earth with the he sound. Let's bring it all the way back to the navel gate. Visualize collecting all this wonderful healing energy from the meridians into the navel gate. We're going to repeat the sequence and now we'll stretch and twist to the other side. Again, these are invitations. If anything causes discomfort in your body, modify and do something that causes more pleasure in your body. So let's push the shoulders down, the arms away from the hip, lifting the chest up, keeping your abdomen and lower back very strong. Z sound, opening our lungs to more courage and strength. Pushing the shoulders down, releasing the holding of your arms, bring them up. We're now opening the heart to more love, joy, and gratitude with the ha sound. Gathering more healing energy in our hands with the he sound. And now go ahead and hold on with your right hand to the left so we can stretch to the other side. Pull your arm up, stretching to the side, stretching the gallbladder meridian with the J sound for more compassion, forgiveness, and kindness. We're coming back up as we inhale, release the holding of your arms. Bring your hand to the side of your leg. We're stretching a little deeper to the side. Brush along the side of your leg, along the gallbladder meridian with another J sound. Inhale back to the center. We're now facing the leg that we're touching. Change the holding. So we're now brushing along the front of the leg. We're going to bring the arm to the opposite foot with the sound V to activate the stomach meridian. And then you bring your hand to your foot, ankle, knee, thigh, wherever it's comfortable for you. Keep the leg that you're touching straight and bend the opposite one. And we're now twisting to the side, opening the heart again with the ha sound. And then bending the elbow, holding onto the waistline, maybe the sacrum, maybe bring your hand all the way to the opposite hip. And this is to open the lungs again with the Z sound. And then go ahead and stretch both of your knees. Brush along the back of the legs, forward toward the knees, stretching the bladder meridian, the kidney, spine, and the back of the legs with the hu sound. Bending our knees, visualize gathering healing energy from the earth, and slowly rising up one vertebra at a time, bringing the healing back to the navel gate. Moment to visualize the healing lights, the healing sound in your body. Let's relax the hands again to the side. One more time, we're going to bring our body to alignment in the center. We're going to bring the arms up and visualize gathering all the 5 elements, healing lights in your hands. Now we're going to tone the sound hey. This is the additional sound for the breath to bring health to our body. So as we lower our arms down, let's tone the hey sound. And just relax your arms. I invite you to take a moment to close your eyes. Scan your body from head to toes. And just notice the impact of the healing lights, the healing sound, the movement that we just did. Notice if anything starts shifting and changing in your body. And we take a deep breath in, opening our eyes, shake hands and shake feet. In the second part of the practice, we are moving to the floor to do some floor stretches. So before we do that, let's just go back to the screen just to see if anybody has any questions or any comments, or if this was comfortable for you, uncomfortable for you. Just kind of quick check in with everyone. Let me know how you're doing. Doing pretty good? No questions? I see more messages. It looks like we have 10 more messages. Okay. Okay. It's like do we hold the sound? We see. He sound. Do we hold the sound? Let me see. I'm trying to see the questions that came up in the chat. Do we hold the sound for the whole breath or cut it short? Yes, you want to hold the sound. You want to do as long breathing as possible, as long sound, because that's how you get that nice impact on the nervous system with the calming effect. So you want to take a very deep breath, like from the belly, rib cage, and chest. And then slowly exhale it as slow as you can, as long as you can, you get the maximum effect. And then we hold the pauses, so you get also a very deep stretch by holding the pause and stretching the meridians. And then I see another question here. I'm wondering if the he sound corresponds to the san jiao, or is it still the ha sound? Yes, the he sound. So the ha sound connected the san jiao because it is part of the fire organs, but because the san jiao also connect all the meridians, all the body together, it's the control system. We also can use the he sound for the san jiao. Mantak Chia uses it for the san jiao because it also regulates heat in our body. So there is a connection between the he and the ha. And for the san jiao, you could use both. And then let's see, is the slower the breath, the better. Yes, the slower the breath, the better. And then you end up holding your positions in your stretches longer. So you also get a deeper stretch. Wonderful questions, everyone. So how about we'll take a sip of water, we'll set up our yoga mats, we'll take another 5 minutes quick break, or 10 minutes if you want 10 minutes. We can take a 10 minutes quick break. And let's come back. It's now 10:43. Let's come back. I'm sorry, 11:43. Let's come back at 11:53. And then we'll do some more stretching on the floor. Yeah, so all right. So welcome back from our quick little break. We're going to get our yoga mats and we'll do some more yoga stretches, meridian stretches on the floor with the same sounds. These are some of the stretches are quite deep. So again, listen to your body, modify. These are just invitations. Do whatever works for your body today. So you gain more health and you don't hurt anything. So we're going to start. Let's place our yoga mats. I've got my little yogi doggy here with me. We're going to start with child pose to stretch our spine. So put your knees together. You can keep your knees together. If you want, you can open your knees apart to get a little more elongation for your lower back. Gently go ahead and place your forehead on the floor and stretch your arms in front of you so you can feel a nice stretch for your shoulder blades, the back side of your heart. If this is uncomfortable, you can place your hands under your shoulders and support with your elbows the level of stretch for your spine. So that's another way of doing it. If it's a little too much for your lower back or your knees. We are now opening the heart and the space between the shoulder blades with the ha sound. So let's take a deep breath in. Let's try it again. Let's do the ha sound. Now go ahead and brush your arm all the way around with the palm facing up. So you place them on the side of your hip. It allows more elongation to the space between your shoulder blades and more relaxation to your shoulders, more elongation to your spine. So let's start the who sound for the spine. Then place your palm facing down again and brush them all the way above your head. Maybe you can connect your hands together above your head. With a little more stretch, the shoulder blade, the back side of the heart. So we're going to turn the ha sound again. Let's take a deep breath in. And then go ahead and roll your spine up. And bring it so we're now standing on all fours. If you want, you can touch your toes and you want to keep them straight on the floor. We're now going to do hands and cow from yoga. So what we're going to do, we're going to curve the spine, push with the wrist with your hands forward, and bring the weight of your body a little bit toward the hips. So that your hips is moving a little closer toward the hip. And this is the cat movement with the whole sound to stretch the kidneys. Then bring the weight a little more toward your wrist and then arch your spine, sway your hip backward, cow movement. This is ha sound to open the heart. We're going to repeat this again, and I'm just adding something. If you're doing yoga, if you want extra challenge, connect your feet and knees together, hold them really tightly as if you're holding a piece of paper between your knees, and then slightly lift your knees off the floor. Immediately you can feel the engagement in your core and in your abdomen muscle. And then we're going to curve the spine again, and this is the who sound to stretch the spine. And then we're going to arch the spine, open the heart with the ha sound. And one more who sound. And one more ha sound. You use the challenge and lift your knees, place your knees back down, bring your hips to your heels, relax your hand if you're feeling any stress in your wrist. Go ahead and lift up your elbows. Place your elbows and lift up your wrist, and then circle your waist in one direction and the other to ease up any tightness. And then bring your arms again. This is the ha sound for the heart. Brushing the arms again, relaxing them to the side of your body. Who sound for the kidneys. And then slowly let's rise up, one vertebra at a time. And after being on the knees for a little bit, let's go ahead and stretch our legs forward. If you're feeling any tightness in your legs or your knees, a nice way to release the tightness is to bounce the knees into the floor And then what you do, you turn your feet in and out. It will turn also your hips in and out, and that brings a little more relaxation and openness to the legs. So we're going to repeat some of the sound that we did earlier. Now with the legs straight, we're going to hold on behind the back, get like a tripod with your fingers, and make sure that your elbows are kind of toward the back. Keep your abdomen and your lower back very strong and straight, and just lift up the chest upward. This is the openness for the lungs. For those of you who want extra challenge, you're also welcome to connect your hands together like we did standing up. Push the shoulder down, the arms away from the hip, and practice the Z sound this way to get even extra stretch here to the lungs meridian. And this is the Z sound to open the lungs. Now you're welcome to stay supporting yourself with your hands behind your back. Extra challenge, bring your arms up, lean back a bit so you can feel the engagement in your core, flex your feet so you get also the stretch in your legs. We're now opening the heart with the ha sound. Gathering healing energy in our hands with the he sound. And then bend over, bring your toes and fingers together, hold on with your fingers to your toes. That connects all the meridians in our body, improving the flow of chi and vitalities. Relax your head, let your head get closer towards your knees. This is the who sound to stretch the bladder meridian, the spine, and the back of the legs. And then slowly we're rising up one vertebra at a time, forming the he sound. Now we're going to repeat this movement, but we're going to bend one knee. So you place the foot now on the side of your other knee. Again, for extra challenge, go ahead and place it on top of your knee. This also can be practiced on the chair. Again, for those who have any issues in your back or in your hip or in your legs, it's a really nice strong stretch for the lower back and the glute muscle. So we're going to hold on with one hand on the knee, one hand on your ankle or your foot. And like we did earlier, use the leverage of stabilizing your hands on your leg to stretch your chest upward. And we're toning again the sound Z to open the lungs. You're welcome to keep holding onto your leg, or if you like, bring the arms up, holding, turning the heart sound to open the heart. Now we bring the same arm as your folded leg up. The other hand, you just place by your hip and then bend your elbow so you get a nice stretch to the side of your body. And this is the sound to stretch the gallbladder meridian. Now face the foot and the opposite hand. Place your hand on the inner leg and apply gentle pressure on your hip, on the knee to open the hip. We're going to bring the forehead toward the knee, toward the foot, like we did standing up, dipping the shoulder and the elbow forward, so you get a good stretch for the back of the rib cage. This is the Z sound to open the back of the lungs and the rib cage. And then we'll stretch both of the arms to the side. Brush them around so you're back in the center, holding onto your foot or your knee. Bring the forehead towards your knee. This is again the who sound to stretch the hip. And then with the he sound, slowly rising up one vertebra at a time. And then go ahead and stretch the leg forward, bounce the knees to the floor, and the feet and the hips in and out to ease up any tightness of the legs. And then let's go ahead and balance our body. So we're going to bend the other knee. And notice the difference between the two sides. The body is usually not perfectly symmetric. One may be a little more flexible than the other. The foot is on the side of your knee, or if you want the extra challenge, go ahead and place it on top of your knee, holding on to the foot and the knee, stretching our spine upward, stretching, opening the chest and the lungs with the Z sound. If you like, you can release the hand. You can always keep holding if you need the leverage. And this is the ha sound to open the heart. Then visualize collecting healing energy in our hands with the he sound. And then bending over, holding on to the foot, bring the foot towards the knee. This is the who sound, bring the foot towards the knee. And rising up slowly with the he sound. We're going to bring now the other arm above the head, the same one as your folded leg. The other hand supporting you by your hip. Gently bend the elbow so you can gently stretch to the side, stretching the gallbladder meridian with the J sound. Now we're facing the opposite hand. Foot. Apply gentle pressure on your knee as we bring the forehead or the foot, bending over the elbow and shoulder, dipping them inward. So you stretch the back of your shoulder blade, the back of the lungs, the back of the rib cage. Z sound to open the lungs. And then we're going to stretch both of our arms to the side and brush them around, holding onto your foot with your hands, forward toward the knee. This is the who sound again to open the spine and the bladder meridian. And then slowly rising up, one vertebra at a time with the he sound. Keep the elongation in your spine and then go ahead and relax it down. Once more, bounce the knees to the floor and turn your hips and your feet in and out to ease up any tightness from the legs. Now what we're going to do, we're going to bring our spine all the way down to the floor so we can do some more floor stretching, laying down. So gently roll your spine all the way down to the floor. Go ahead and place your feet on the floor with the knees up. And just take a moment and notice how your spine meets the floor. from some of the stretches that we did. Notice the areas that feel comfortable, fully relaxed on the floor. Perhaps there are some areas that feel tightness today, still some tightness. Let's go ahead and we'll bring the knees up toward the chest. Hold on to your knees. Circle them in one direction and the opposite direction to ease out any tightness from the legs. And then we're going to keep the knees and feet together. We're going to bring the hands behind the neck. And now with the sound, who, again to stretch the spine, the kidney and the bladder meridians. We're going to bring the forehead and the knees together. So let's take a deep breath in. Go ahead and relax the neck and the head down to the floor. Relax your feet to the floor. We're going to repeat it again, strengthening our core and bringing the forehead and knees together. And one more time, neck and feet down to the floor. Who sound, bringing them together. Relax the neck and the feet down to the floor. Relax your arms to the side of your body. We're now opening space between the knees and the feet. We did a lot of forward folding. So we're going to stretch the front of the body, the front of the hip, and the stomach meridian with a bridge pose. So you're welcome to keep your hands on the side of your body. If you like, you can hold on to your ankles and gently lift up your hip up to a bridge pose, stretching the front of the hip and the stomach meridian. And we're going to tone the sound V sound for the stomach meridian. Slowly roll your spine down one vertebra at a time. Open up your arms to the shoulder line, or if you want, extra challenge maybe above shoulder line, and then let your knees fall to one side. You can really feel the stretch here to the stomach meridian and the hip. You can place your foot on top of your knee. We are going to tone the sound he, sending healing vibrations through the entire body and the hip. Let's take a deep breath in. Relaxing the foot from your knee. Bring the knees back to center, bring your arms back down or hold on to your ankles. Bridge pose again with the V sound to stretch the stomach meridian. Slowly rolling the spine down, one vertebra at a time. Arms to the shoulder line or above the line. Now the knees fall to the other side. If you like the extra challenge, place the foot on top of your knee, opening the hip, sending healing vibrations through the body with the he sound. Relaxing the foot from the knee, the body back to center. Let's do the bridge pose one more time with the V sound to align ourselves in the center. So let's lift the hip upward. Take a deep breath in. And then slowly rolling the spine down one vertebra at a time. Let's close the feet and the knees together. One more time, bring them up toward the chest. Open up your arms to the shoulder line. And now we're back to the sound who for the spine. We're going to twist the spine, letting the knee fall from side to side, engaging our core and our stomach muscle, abdomen muscles. So let's take a deep breath in, who sound. Engaging our core, we're going to bring the knees back to center and then let them fall to the other side with the who sound. Engaging our core back to center, let them fall to the first side. Engaging core and bring the knees back to center and let them fall to the other side. Back to center, and now let's go ahead and bring the feet back down. Keep the arms at the shoulder line. If you want the extra challenge, maybe lift them above shoulder line. We are now continuing with the sound who for the spine. We are going to keep the feet on the floor and let the knees fall from side to side. You can let one foot goes over the other one, on top of the other one. The stretch is now and the twist apply more into your lower back. So let's take a deep breath in. Bring the knees back to center and let them fall to the other side. Back to center. Let's go to the first side. And when you lift your arm higher above your shoulder line, you get twist also to the upper back and more openness here to the front of your shoulder and the lungs meridian. So let's do now the sound Z to attempt to bring the arms to the floor and feel the stretch in the front of the shoulder. Back to center, and then let's move to the other side with the Z sound. And back to center. And just take a moment and stretch your legs down after bending them. Bounce the knees to the floor, turn the hips and the hip in and out to ease up any residue of tightness. And just take a moment and lay down, close your eyes, and just notice your back. Notice how your back meets the floor, and notice any changes that occur from those twists and stretches. And we'll take another deep breath. So let's continue with some deeper stretches. We're bending the knees. Again, this is an invitation to cross one knee over the other. If this is uncomfortable for your body, if you have any back issues, you're always welcome to do this exercise with the knees side by side. If you like, you can cross one knee over. For extra challenge, go ahead and intertwine your feet into an eagle pose. And then we open the arms to the shoulder line. And now we're shifting to the sound J because we are stretching the glute and the IT band, the side of the body and the gallbladder meridian. So let's take a deep breath for the J sound. Let's inhale. Bring your knees back up. This is pretty deep stretch and twist. So very gently, let them fall to the other side. You may support them with your opposite hand. If they can reach the floor, that's okay. Just apply some pressure on your knees to get the twist that works for your body today. And this is the J sound again. Now support your knees on the floor or close to the floor with your opposite hand. You stretch the other arm behind you at the shoulder line. The tongue associated with the lungs meridian and the Z sound. So from shoulder line above the head, just kind of create half circle, stretching the lungs meridian with the Z sound. Now the palm is up. We are now shifting to the pinky, which is associated with the heart meridian. Brushing the pinky from the headline down to the hip. This is the ha sound to open the heart. And now we're going to circle the arm, full circle around the body with the Z sound, stretching the lungs meridian upward, hand on the head. Let's inhale. And a full circle downward, ha sound to open the heart meridian. And then stretch it out with the shoulder line. Bring your body back to center, arm cross your knees, opening the top knee out to the side. If you did the exercise with the knees together side by side, just go ahead and place one foot on top of your knee. And then let's go ahead and bring the lower knee out of the chest to figure 4. Hold on to your knee. The best way is the same hand as your folded leg is weaving under your knee, and then hold on to the opposite one. And then very gently go ahead and circle your knees in one direction, the other direction to ease up any residue of tightness in your back, in your glute muscle, IT band, gallbladder meridian. So we are back to the J sound for the gallbladder. Keep the one hand on the knee. Go ahead and support your neck with your other hand. And now with the J sound, let's bring the knee and the foot. I'm sorry, let's bring the neck to the knee and the foot. Let's take a deep breath in. Let's bring the leg and the foot to the floor. Relax the hand from the knee and hold on with both hands to your neck. Or if you like, you can always, you're welcome to skip the support of your knee. Another J sound. Let's bring the forehead and the knee together. Relaxing the neck and the foot down to the floor. Go ahead and keep your upper knee and bring it toward your chest. Now aligning it with the shoulder and your chest. You're welcome to keep the other leg standing, or if you like the extra challenge, go ahead and stretch the leg all the way down, holding on to the knee with the elbows to the side. Hold on to the knee with the same hand as your leg, and with the opposite hand, go ahead and support your neck. Let's do the who sound as we push the knee toward the shoulder and the chest. Let's take a deep breath in. Relax the neck down and change your holding. So you're holding behind the knee, the calf, the foot. It's hard to hold. You're welcome to just hold on to your pants so you can connect with your foot. And then gently bend the knee as we inhale. And then let's go ahead and stretch the knee upward, stretching the foot up, stretching the hamstrings, the calves, the bladder meridian with the who sound. Gently bending the knee, and let's stretch it up one more time, a little further with another who sound. And now keep the knee straight up. Change your holding, so you're holding on the side of your knee, and then support your elbow on the floor. And then we are gently opening the leg to the side. With the support of your elbow, you can control the angle and the level of openness that works for your hip today. And then open your leg to the side, stretching the inner leg, the kidney, the bladder, the liver meridians. We're going to do the sound V for the spleen meridian. So let's take a deep breath in. Excuse me. And then go ahead and bend your knee, bring the foot to the floor, and place it on the side of your other leg. Gently relaxing the knee to the floor, and then go ahead and stretch the leg all the way down, taking a moment to bounce the knees to the floor and turn the hips and the feet in and out to ease up any residual tightness. And then I invite you to close your eyes and relax your arms to the side of your body. Notice the difference between the two sides. The one we stretched, the one we haven't stretched yet. The impact of these stretches on your body. Then let's go ahead and take another deep breath. And let's balance our body. So we're going to bend our knees again. And now let's cross the other knee over. If you like the extra challenge, intertwine your feet. Keep the knees side by side if that's more comfortable for your body today. Arms to the shoulder line. And now with the J sound, let the knee fall to one side, supporting them with the hands, allowing them to get as close as you can to the floor. Let's take a deep breath in. Bring the knees up as we inhale, and let them go a little closer to the floor with another J sound. Now stay in the twist. If the twist is uncomfortable, and unwind your feet and bring them side by side, holding the knees to the floor. Now we're going to move the arms upward, brushing with the thumbs toward the head, stretching the lungs meridian with the Z sound. And then switching to the pinky, stretching the heart meridian, circling the arm down, opening the heart with the Ha sound. And now a full circle, hands toward the head with the Z sound. A full circle downward with the Ha sound. And then go ahead and stretch your arm to the shoulder line. Bring your body out of the twist, back to center. Uncross your knees. Open the top knee to the side. And then let's bring the lower knee to the chest. Holding on to the knee. If you're feeling any tightness or any soreness in your lower back, go ahead and circle your knees in one direction and then the opposite direction to ease up any tightness from the lower back, the glute muscle, IT band, gallbladder meridian. We're going to keep the one hand at the knee, the other hand supports your neck, and now with the J sound, let's bring the forehead toward the knee. Let's take a deep breath in. Then let's relax the neck down and the foot down. Let's place both of our hands behind the neck without the support of the knee. Let's bring the forehead and the knees together. Relaxing the neck and the foot down. Hold on to your top knee and bring it down close towards your chest. Hold on to the knee. If you like the extra challenge, go ahead and stretch your other leg all the way down. Push the knee gently towards your chest. Keep the same hand as your leg holding on to the knee, and then bring the other hand to support your neck. And now it's the who sound as we bring the forehead toward the knee. Let's take a deep breath in. Bring the neck down, and now we are changing our holding. So both hands are holding under the knee, the calves, the foot, or maybe you need to hold to the pants, or if you need a yoga belt to help you stretch your hamstring, whatever works for you. Bend the knee gently as we inhale, and then let's stretch the hamstrings, the calves, the bladder meridian with the who sound. Bending the knee gently as we inhale, and let's stretch it a little further with another who sound. Then keep your leg up. Change your holding the same hand as your leg, holding the side of your knee. You can support the hip on the other side to keep it on the floor for maximum stretch to your hip. Support the elbow on the floor so you can control the angle of the openness for your hip, whatever works for you today. And then gently open your leg out to the side, stretching the inner leg, liver, spleen, and kidney meridians. We're going to turn the sound V for the spleen meridian. And then bend the knee, bring the foot down and place it on the side of your other knee. And then go ahead and stretch your leg down, taking a moment to bounce the knees and turn the feet and the hips in and out. And then take a moment to notice if your body got more even, if the two sides of your body evened out. Just to bring ourselves back to alignment, let's bring the knees back up toward the chest. Once more, just circle them in one direction, the opposite direction. Notice the difference in your back, lower back especially. And then relax your feet down. Go ahead and stretch your legs all the way down. Relax the arms to the side of your body. Close your eyes. We're shifting to the last part of our session, the relaxation and closing meditation. We'll start on the floor, and then I will invite you to come back to sitting at some point. So go ahead and close your eyes. Tuning into the inner space of your body. Noticing the impact of the stretches on your body. Noticing how your spine connects with the earth through the floor of your home. We're going to start with another nice deep breath. Full body breath. Breathe from the belly to the rib cage, all the way up to the top of your chest, and visualize the breath moving all the way up to the head. And as you exhale, relax your head, relax your face, relax your neck, relax your spine, relax your shoulders, your arms and your hands, relax your legs and your feet. The relaxation allowing more space and openness in the inner space of our body. So on the next deep breath, I invite you to breathe healing from Mother Earth, nurturing energy, and whatever vibrations and energy you need right now for your health. Visualize breathing it in all the way from the feet upward to the top of the chest, the top of the head. And once more, as you exhale, visualize exhaling healing and vitality from the head, from the neck, down the spine, from the shoulders into your arms and your hands, and from your hip joints and your lower back, all the way down your legs into your feet, allowing your body to bathe with beautiful vibrations of healing and vitality. To enhance our healing and vitality, we are shifting to the last meditation for today, the 5 elements healing lights. I invite you to stay laying down on the floor in your Shavasana, or if you would like to start transitioning upward, you're welcome to practice the meditation, the last meditation sitting up, by rolling on your side. Gently bring your body back to sitting if that serves you. So either laying down or sitting up, I invite you to bring your hands to your navel gate, connecting with our original gate of nourishment and purity. For the navel gate, we have access to the inner resources of strength in our body. And to enhance our own inner resources, we are now calling in the 5 elements healing lights. The beautiful blue light of water that brings us inner peace, self-confidence, faith, and trust. The beautiful white light of the air that brings us the courage to flow with life changes, face the unknown as we let go of anything that no longer serves us. Deep breath as we invite in the beautiful green light of nature that brings us more compassion, forgiveness, and kindness toward ourselves and toward others. Let's take another deep breath and invite in the beautiful red light of fire. It opens our hearts to more love, joy, gratitude, and hope. With another deep breath, let's invite in the beautiful golden yellow light of the sun and the earth. It brings us balance, harmony, abundance, prosperity, and full clarity of our spiritual path. So now visualize all these beautiful healing lights like a rainbow, shining healing into your body, enhancing your inner resources of strength and vitality. And we're going to tone the sound he for healing. Take a deep breath in. Let's go ahead and relax our hands from the navel gate. If you're still laying down, I invite you to slowly start transitioning, rolling on your side and slowly rolling up to sitting position. As we transition, let's go ahead and close our eyes again, noticing the impact of the healing lights, the healing sound, the stretches, the movement, the breathing we just did. I invite you again to scale your body from head to toes. Notice your physical sensations, your emotions, your feelings, and the state of your mind. And then to bring our session to completion, we're going to bring our hands together, bring the hands to the heart center, So we're going to close the Chi Yoga part, and then we're going to come back to the screen. For now, just for this part, take a deep breath in from the belly through the rib cage, all the way up to the top of the chest, so the heart center, the heart chakra. And as we exhale, let's send some healing, some love and hope to anyone else in the world that needs more healing today. So thank you for this part. We're going to close this Chi Yoga part for now with a namaste. Thank you for joining me for this part. And then we have a little more time. So I invite you to come back to the screen for any questions. And perhaps if you'd like to share with us anything, if you feel any shift or any changes throughout your own practice, we can all come back to a gallery view. If you like. If you don't have to, it's all optional. And if you would like to share anything, it's always wonderful to hear how was the practice for you, if you felt any shifts or any changes, and if you have any questions. And of course, if you're not comfortable talking, you're always welcome to put that in the chat as well. Do you want to start since
Well,
we're here?
yeah, I
and
was
we're
gonna
all-
say, might want to unmute everybody.
People are able to unmute themselves, I believe. And we are still recording. So if anybody is uncomfortable, let us know. We can actually stop the recording. But sometimes it's nice to hear what was the effect of the practice. If you're not comfortable because you are being recorded, you're welcome to just put it in the chat.
I know,
Oh, sorry, Randy.
go ahead, Colleen.
Just what comes to mind first is, well, I feel really great, but it's really nice to have an extended version of, to put everything in context of the sounds and the colors and the meaning behind them. It's really, it adds to it. So that was, I really enjoyed that, OC. Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen. Yeah, I'm glad you
I
could.
just
Yes.
I
go
just wanted to let our participants know that this today was like an extended version, like Colleen said. When we practice on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays, it's 1 hour from 10 to 11, and we go through the tapping, and then we go through the yoga, and it's 1 hour. So don't think that every time we come together,
ahead. 3 hours. Yes,
it's
so that
3
was-
hours. Yeah, today was very special with an explanation of the sounds and going through everything, but we do it in 1 hour and it feels amazing like it did today. And I want to thank you, Osi, so much. That was powerful as usual. So Colleen and I have been doing it for 3 years at least, right, Colleen? Yes.
Since
Mhm. Through the pandemic, and we notice like healing, strength. We recover from things faster. We also get sick less. We have more balance. And so, and like Osi said about, the vagus nerve calming and soothing with stress. So I really recommend it to everyone if you want to join us.
Okay, thank you, guys. Anyone else who would like to share anything? Alexis, would you like to share anything? How was the practice for you?
Hi everyone. Yeah, that was amazing. I'm just feeling very, very relaxed, just soaking it all in, but I definitely from head to toe just feel very at peace. And I would definitely love to continue to practice with you. Thank you so much for this. It was amazing. Like Graciela said, to have the teaching in the beginning and then to incorporate it and have it all flow together. It was a really nice way to definitely understand it all and then just be able to feel it all in our body. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. Anyone else would like to share? You're welcome to unmute.
Let me add, that just for everybody here, I've had a lot of health issues, and I've actually joined in while I'm in bed to this practice just to do the sounds and some light stretching, and it works no matter what. It works. It makes for a better day no matter how you're feeling.
Mhm, mhm.
I feel really relaxed too, and I want to integrate the sounds into my practice as well. My dog was actually scared at first when I was doing the sounds, but
Oh, really?
she's
Oh, sweet. Our doggy, I don't know if you guys can see her on the couch over there. If you move a little bit, she's on the other side. She just out sleeping.
Yeah.
She got very relaxed. So yes, doggies actually love sound. She always come. I call her my yogi doggy. She come and she likes to do yoga with me.
Mhm.
Wonderful. See, feeling also more relaxed and ready for the day. Wonderful. Anyone else would like? I see Jeff is here and Marilena. Anything you would like to share? Oh,
It was just absolutely wonderful. And I thank you so much for doing this for all of us. And I know we couldn't meet in person because there's something that's wonderful about the vibration of everybody saying it together at the same time. But we pivoted and did it for the rain. And thank you so much for letting us use this for student council and for both of you guys being on. It was so cute to see you guys both together and you participating. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
Thank you, Maria Elena. And
Yeah.
maybe if there is space and time with no rain, I'll be happy to come back and do. We didn't do the partnering part because that's really, we need another person for that. But there is a whole other aspect of this where you do passive stretching with the Chi yoga and we can incorporate it into our practices. So we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll add another hour or something and we'll do it on campus when the weather is a little bit better.
Yeah.
And thank
That
you.
would be awesome.
And I just would like to add that, like this was a workshop setting, and, going through all the PowerPoint, just brought in so much, clarity for, the colors and the sounds and the associated organs. But once you start getting present in the practice over and over, there's just layers that start to for each person, it's a little different. But I know, I'm close to 67 and my body is starting to change. It's getting more flexible again. And just the purpose of the class is really to create that energy from within. So you have, whatever it is that you're doing, you have something to project out and still hold your own strength. It's not, you guys are in a healing world. And I know that a lot of what happens is the healers are there, the massage and, well, you got to retain some of that for yourself too, as you go along that path. And this practice really can help achieve that. And I had a pretty strong visualization with the third eye today, which is not normal, but it was like my own, just visions of, I've been really active in trying to achieve some things. And so these visualizations of me actually achieving them were taking place. I felt my forehead warming up, the colors all coming in, and it was a nice warm feeling, and I'm going to carry that on. It just, I'm one step closer to having my goals realized. So anyway, there's a lot of things that once you get involved in the practice, it just starts to unfold. you know, and
Thank you, sweetie.
yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, and it's always fun to, you know, be here to support my wife and,
Thank you for that
um,
too.
you know, and
Sure.
her passion. It's amazing.
Thank you, sweetie.
Mhm.
And I see that Jeffrey put something in the chat. He said that he's practicing a lot of different yoga, qigong, and other fitness. And I still learned a few new stretches. I noticed I prefer the yin versions of the sound more. Not sure why for myself, but thank you. Yes, you know, that's why we have two different versions. They are yang version is move energy more in our body. The yin is a little more calming, and perhaps that works best for your nervous system and for your healing. It all works, whatever works. So I really encourage you to keep practicing sound, take good care of yourself, especially being in the healing field and giving energy to others. You're all being trained to be the massage therapist, acupuncturist. Even if we are not in the healing field, we do give energy to others all the time, whatever it is that we do. It's so important to do the self-care, the self-healing, to kind of rejuvenate our own resources. So, so important. So if that works for you, you're very welcome to continue and come join us for some other sessions, or find something that works for you that is part of your own self-care and self-healing. Yeah, so I want to thank Maria Elena again for doing such an amazing job organizing it, and for everybody for being flexible and moving on Zoom so we can be safe on the road without driving on the roads today. Any other questions or any other comments that anyone want to add before we take off?
Thank you, babes.
Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. We can probably shut the recording off.